What I think about the latest 2 game suspension for Jimmy Butler? Well, you got to handle it in a more tactful way. They're in a hurry. They obviously can't get any suitors for him. They're trying to get a third team. They might need a fourth team. I don't know. It's not ending well. It's not going to be good for him. He more than likely will have to just exit stage right. Maybe it's just cheaper to keep him. Maybe you just tank this year the rest of the way for the Heat, and then he goes on his merry way because nobody wants to touch him. He does have a bad reputation how he left Chicago, Minnesota, and Philadelphia. I like Jimmy Butler's hard work and tenacity. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. He's what I call a very high second tier, low first tier player. A guy that's a strong co-star and has some first tier moments, but he's not an alpha. If he were an alpha, he would have figured out how to ingratiate Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson with Bam and compel that team to win the chip. He went to 2 finals, and that's to be commemorated, but he's not a finisher. So when he starts talking about the Celtics, Pat Riley said, yo, you can't talk. You ain't played. And he got upset. Why would Pat Riley give him an extension when he's 35 years old and he's a second wheel and he's not going to win and he's not going to get better? But at the same time, Pat Riley, you got to trade him. If you're going to trade him, you may as well trade him for a box of M&Ms or some now laters and or maybe a couple packages of Kool-Aid, because it's not going to end well. Nobody wants to touch Jimmy Butler. So this time he missed a playing team on purpose, and he's trolling. He's trying to see what he can get away with. We all know what he's doing. It's very unprofessional. It's very tacky turkey. But Jimmy Butler, that's what he's doing. He think he gonna have his way. If Bradley Beal said, I want out of here, that trade would have been gone like tomorrow. But they got to get another piece to make it happen. Of course, the problem that the Heat run into is that nobody's attracted to Miami. Let's keep it 100. Who have they really gotten? They did get Dwayne Wade back after they ran him out, and that was not a good look. But really, they really haven't scored with a top tier player. They had Gordon Dragic, who was a good player, who was like a junior whopper, Steve Nash. But they haven't had that dude to even merit Chris Bosh, let alone D Wade, let alone LeBron or Shaq type. They haven't had that splash that Riley keeps talking about, that big fish. He don't even say that no more because, yeah, they got to the finals. They upset Boston. They upset Milwaukee. But they peaked. They're not even the best team in their own conference. Remember when they used to get that Southwest Conference flag on the pole? Orlando's got the best team. Atlanta's a better team. So that's not a given. Now let's look at the East, shall we? You're not better than Boston. You're not better than New York. You're not better than Cleveland. You're not better than Milwaukee. So if you're not one of the top 4 teams, and I think Orlando's better, you're in the bottom feeder. You're playing tournament, which basically means if you win a game to get to the first round, you might get lucky to get a game or 2 if you're lucky, and that's it. So Coach Eric Spoelstra, who's lost identity, because let's go back to this season when he called that timeout in that game they lost, and he didn't have no timeout, and they lost that game, technical free throw. They don't play Heat culture ball. They have not played well. But Jimmy Butler's been a big distraction, but he ain't the only problem. They just don't really have an identity. They had all those pieces and parts that got them to the finals in 23. They don't have that no more. And they don't have the loose change to make it better. So they got old, and they got guys they've sat with. So Tyler Hero's going to stick around. Bam's going to, I guess, Duncan Robinson. And you got some Jokic, the other Jokic, but he ain't that Jokic. And they got a nice couple rookie pieces, but you don't have a contending team. I wish you could use the Steph Curry logic that, hey, you ain't got nothing to trade with because what can you bring in? And you're not attracting the pieces to South Beach that made South Beach jump. So, but it's been a disaster. It's a bad soap opera. And they suck for it. They stink for it. So I don't know what it's going to be. You can suspend him until the cows come in. And if you don't unload him by the trade deadline, I guess they suspend him till April. I think they'll keep doing this every other week to make an example out of him. But what it ends up doing is hurting their cause because Nobody's going to want to go there if they think they're going to be held dictated. Now, I'm going to give Pat Riley his due. 3 chips, 7 finals appearances in all those Eastern Conference, and those division flags since he's been in 30 years. Because, hey, it takes a guy who's an executive, it takes somebody who knows what they're doing to make that happen. However, being petty now ain't a good look. Because you need to pair him up. You need to pair somebody up with Bam and Tyler Hero. And I don't know if you got any real takers. But I do know as soon as you get under Jimmy Butler, you'll be better off. But I don't know what you'll get. And that's the glaring $64,000 question mystery. So you need to cut ties with him. It's not a good look. And you're not getting much out there. There's no real market for him. Because unless he goes, and somebody was talking about Golden State, he don't help Steph Curry out. Maybe if he's buried on a team that's 3rd or 4th seed and he comes off the bench. But if you're not a front-loaded team that can use him off the bench, he's no value to you at this stage. So that's the cold reality because he's 35. His body is kind of shot. And I give him about 2 or 3 more years tops. But he's always wears his welcome after 2 or 3 years. And he's playoff. But if he don't do nothing in the regular season, who's going to tolerate that? Because it ain't like he's James Harden or something or Kawhi Leonard that you could tolerate that. Just saying. Anyway, please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like and hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke. I'm out. Peace.